Phenomena. 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 Phenomena.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the official Flaming Muppets YouTube channel, home of Kidderminster Leisure League action. Today we face members only, who as you can see from the league table currently sit in 7th place. We currently sit in 3rd place, as we look to try and close the gap on 2nd. However, today's a big game, as if members only beat us by 2 goals or more, they will go above us. Anyway, here is the starting 6 and the bench for today's match with the full 9 players to choose from today. So lots of options. Let's go and win the game. Come on, you Flaming Muppets. And we're underway here as George draws out to Reese at the back, who shifts to Josh on the right hand side, looks to come forward and puts a nice ball forward to Connor. However, he can't quite get there, but puts some nice pressure on members own defender and forces him to shift it to the right back. The right back now gets the ball and puts a nice ball down the line. However, Matt and Reese are both there, tight on him, and Reese gets a good tackling to give way a kicking. Members only with a corner now as they cross it in. Con looks head away, but heads it straight back into the danger zone. Matt tries to clear, he can't clear it fully. There struggles in the edge of the box, tries to twist and turn to go and get shot off, but it's deflected right into my box, into my path, and the danger's clear. I look to distribute quite quickly now as I give it to Reese in the edge of the box. He beats one man, tries to bring it forward, plays the ball through to Ash, who doesn't get there. And there's Strikers for on goal, a good opportunity, and he's hit it wide. A good opportunity, missed members only there with a poor shot. Members only with a kick in now. He's placed in the middle of the park, it's shifted to left hand side. First time strike from their player, but he's completely skied that high and wide. George has the ball now, he looks to roll out to Reese in the edge of the box. Reese puts a nice ball through in the midfield to Ash, who lays it off to the right hand side to Josh. Josh cuts inside and switches play over to Matt on the left hand side. Matt cuts in and looks for options. He tries to give it back to Reese in the edge of the box. Reese now puts a long ball forward as he sees Connor making a run. Connor gets the ball under control and tries to shield off his defender. He plays it back to Matt, who gives him a nice option. Then Matt looks to play it back in the midfield towards Connor. Connor got his ball, turns his man, but he's brought down in the middle of the park, and that's a free kick. From the resultant free kick, Connor heads forward to Ash, but Ash has trouble onto it with a lot of men around him. He loses out, but Connor spreads it wide to Matt, who just about reaches it and does enough to win a kick in. Now I've sped this up just to show you the type of football Muppets are playing here. Some great passing play, lots of passes, everyone getting touch on the ball. Passes being made all over the pitch. We look to try and carve open the members only defence and try and get a shot off or try and get a chance that will give us a lead. Some great play. We held on to possession for a long time, giving our defence a bit of respite as we just spread the play from player to player. Some nice skills on show. But eventually, as Connor plays to Matt, and Matt gives it back to him, Connor tries to play it forward, but it's a poor pass, and finally members only regain possession. But we instantly begin to apply pressure as Con and Ash both try and cut off options and pressure their player, who plays a poor pass down line, and we win a kick-in. And again, from the kicking, we've sped up the play here to showcase some great passing football. I mean, we really are the Barcelona of the Kidderminster Leisure League, with some great passing football we played in this match and in most of our matches, as look to wear out the opposition and try and carve out a chance. Eventually lose it here, but it's quickly won back by Josh, and Reese clears. Josh takes kicking here and plays it into Ash in the middle of the park. He turns his man and tries to drive out to the right hand side, which he does. He holds off the ball using strength, he's got a push in the back and he wins a free kick on the right hand side. Ash takes the free kick and plays to Lewis, who turns his man but can't quite find the space to get a shot off. He's forced to come back and play it to Ash on the right hand side. But again, looking for options, looking to try and create an opportunity, but he's forced to play it back to Reese at the back. He spreads it to the right hand side where Josh is. He picks it up at the halfway point on the right hand side and looking for options. He plays it back into Ash in the middle of the park, who tries to drive forward at his men. He tries to square it, but he loses the ball, but picks it up again with some nice strength and some nice quick feet to go away from his man. He turns and then plays it back to Reese again. Reese turns his body and lets the ball run before playing it to the left hand side to Matt. Matt tries to bring the ball forward and tries to drive his defender before dropping it off to Ash, who takes over the ball. He now tries to drive down left hand side to try and get a cross in, but he overruns it and it's a goal kick. The ball is with the members only keeper now, he looks to roll out to their left hand side. Their player looks to drive forward but instead turns in and plays it to the centre. Their midfielder now have a nice touch out his feet, gets a shot off. It's quite a tame shot right at George, but he manages to spill it out and we give away a corner as Josh comes off the pitch and Connor comes on as a sub. The corner comes in now as their player manages to get a head on it, but it's weak, it's tame, and it goes straight into George's hands. Members only in the middle of the pitch with the ball now as they play it to the right hand side, but Reese as well to dispossess them and win the ball back as he plays it into Matt Price. Matt now looks for the ball in the middle of the park towards Lewis. He plays it, he doesn't quite get there, but it falls to Ashton on the left hand side, looks to drive forward and square it towards Lewis. However, it's good defending from the members only player to not only win it back but hold off Lewis as he looks to come down this left hand side here. He continues here as he drives into the space before getting his head up and looking for options. He finds their striker on the edge of the box, tries to hold the ball up before bringing it to the left hand side. He then uses some nice quick footwork to try and beat Conor McGonagall, which he does, and he tries to square it across goal, but it's a nice interception from Ash. It falls to Conor, tries to clear it, he can't quite, and it bounces around but Reese for a nice pass back to George Hudson to eliminate the danger. George rolls out of the centre now as Ash with a first time pass, spreads out to the right hand side towards Conor McGonagall. He's got plenty of time and space, he looks to come forward into it. He passes it to Lewis, who looks for options but can't find anyone, so gives it back to Conor. Conor looks to come left, but again can't find anyone and gives it back to Lewis. Lewis spots Ash in a nice position on the edge of the box, tries to play a nice 1-2, but his touch lets him down a bit, he loses possession. However, Matt's there to try and win it back, he's in a good position, he has a pop and gets a shot off. It's a good shot, but it's right at the keeper who spills it, but gets it at the second attempt. It's members' only chance to come forward here as they look for the opening goal. It's played into the middle of the park. Their midfielder plays it to the right hand side. It's put into their striker. He tries to spread it to the left hand side. He comes forward. You can't really see it as the camera doesn't pan, but it's fouled on the edge of the box and they win a free kick. Also a rare sight with Reese coming off now for Scott, who will go up front with Ash covering at the centre back position. The free kick is taken and it's passed short here as their player at the edge of the box tries to twist and turn. He loses the ball though as Scott tries to come forward, but he's tackled and we win a kick in. Still no goals here as members only have a free kick. They play it short, it's given straight back to the free kick taker outside the footset. Oh, and it's off the crossbar. What an audacious effort that was. Not sure if he meant it, but it was a great effort with the outside of his foot off the top of the crossbar. As we see again, this is the view George had. As you can see, I think he got a touch on it as it was given as a corner. Nearly got lobbed there. What a great effort, but it's still 0-0. The corner comes in, but it's a good header away from Matt Price to a good area as Scott does really well to flick it onwards. He chases it, it's a great opportunity, it's 2v1 against keeper. What will Scott do when he shoots? He squares to Lewis instead. Lewis shoots, he shoots. Oh, great finish from Lewis Page. He puts the Muppets 1-0 up, a great counter-attack straight from their corner. Brilliant play from Scott Reynolds to get the assist, and a great finish puts Muppets 1-0 to the good. Another sub now for Muppets as Matt Price makes way for Connor Phillips to return to the pitch. Right on the edge of half time now, Dumbers only get the ball in a promising area. The striker shoots, but it was going wide, but George collects it easily and rolls out to Ash. He starts what to do before eventually deciding to drive into the middle. He does so, but his touch is poor and he overruns it and he loses possession. And their player plays it through. It's a great opportunity for their striker who shoots, but he's skied it high and wide. A great opportunity for members only to equalise on the stroke of half time, but chance missed. George rolls well out to Lewis, does well to hold the ball after a poor first touch. Gives it to Connor.
Right, come down the line.
And that's half time. Flaming Muppets 1, members only 0. A good first half from Muppets there is beginning the second half with members only looking to come forward. They're trying to play a ball forward, but Connor intercepts. He loses out, but Ash picks up a loose ball and gives it straight back to him. Connor now with the ball on the left hand side. He has to cut inside and play a ball through in the middle to Scott. Scott can't get there, and members only player intercepts it before clearing. A loose ball now, which is picked up by members only player on their left hand side. They look to come forward and play a ball into the middle. However, their player is possessed by Ash, who looks to run forward of their defence. He loses out, however, it bounces back to Scott, which is a nice ball over the top. Ash now goes toe to toe one of their players and complete outstrengths him, sends him flying, but we give way a kicking. Members only take the kicking as they play a nice 1-2 and look to come forward. He tries to play him past the middle of the park as their player Roger trans Lewis Page before dropping it off to another player with some nice footwork, but it gets past Scott and Lewis. He looks to come forward now in the middle and plays a nice ball out to the right hand side. Their player now looks to cut in, but Ash holds him off well with some nice strength and gives away a kicking with a nice challenge. George with the ball now is looks to distribute. However, most players are marks and there are not many options. However, he puts a great ball to the right hand side where Scott is, who is well to pass into Lewis, who has a nice turn on the ball and plays to Connor on the left hand side. He looks to drive at the defence, how he's dispossessed. The ball is up in the air, however, it eventually drops to Scott. Scott now has the ball and looks to drive forward to the left hand side. He thinks about what to do, however, he's dispossessed before he can make a pass. His members only player plays as their striker. He's got space now. He looks to try and take on Ash, try and get a shot away. Gets past Ash, he gets to the side of Connor, however, he overruns it and he goes out for a kicking. Ash for the ball now at the back, he turns on the ball and decides to pass to Lewis in midfield. He turns and tries to run at his man. He's taken out completely and we win a free kick. Connor stands over the free kick now. He passes it back to Ash. Ash got plenty of time to solve it soon, decides to play it in the middle to Lewis. Lewis turns and plays out to the right hand side where Josh is. Josh now deep on the right hand side, tries to cut in and try and have a shot. However, he doesn't connect with it at all properly and it goes out for a goal kick. Our opposition have the ball now on their left hand side, look to switch place to their right hand side. It's a nice pass, however, it's a poor touch from their player and Ash capitalises as well to win it back. He now looks to drive forward on the left hand side. He loses out, but Compy picks it up and gives it back to Conor McGonagall. He looks to shift it across the right hand side, however, pressure is put on Josh. He doesn't get to the ball and it's given for a kicking. Members only decide to take the kicking quick as they start to play around with some nice passing play. It finds their player on the left hand side. He decides to cut in with his right foot and have a shot, however, it's straight at George Hudson, who collects with ease. George rolls out from the back now as it finds Ash, and he plays a nice ball towards Josh. Josh loses the ball, however when their player kicks it, it bounces off Ash's knee towards Lewis in the midfield. Lewis now runs the midfield with Ash off an overlap. He gives it to Ash. Ash in a great position to square it towards Connor. He does, it's a great ball. Surely Connor's got a score, but he doesn't. It's a tame shot and the keeper falls to the ground and saves it. Unlucky. Members only on the attack now as they look for the equaliser. Their midfielder plays a nice pass and gets it back for the 1-2. He now turns and goes forward. He starts to play a nice through ball. It's their striker, tries to slide it and get there to get a shot off. I think he's in the box where he connected with the ball, however it was saved by George regardless. A loose ball was now picked up by members only as they come forward, but Ash just possesses him and gives it to Connor. Connor shifts towards Lewis, gets a nice touch out his feet and beats his player off pace on the right side. He's got lots of space, he starts to have a shot. It's a good shot, which was a good save from the members only keeper. Another close chance there. The corner is taken short by Connor, he gives it to Lewis, he gives it straight back to him. Connor looks to drive forward into the middle, however he's dispossessed. You can't really see what's happening because Reese is in the way, however members only looks to counter-attack to try and get the equaliser. He plays nice balls to the right hand side, however Connor gets back to hold up their player really well and give way a kick in. Members only hit the kick in long, however you can't really see it, but it's a poor header I think from Josh, tried to play it back to me, however Connor was there to clean up and clear the danger. Ash with the ball in the edge of our box, he passed to Lewis. Lewis with a nice skill and nice foot to go from his man, drives forward with pace, gives it to Connor. Connor cuts inside, got space to shoot, he does, but he's denied by a smart save on members only keeper. Members only keeper with the ball now as he looks to roll out to their left hand side again. Members only look to come forward to try and get an equaliser. He decides to play it back into their defender who plays up to their main man up front. He looks to try and hold the ball up and drive forward. However, Josh helps Ash win the ball back, and now Ash looks to come forward to try and get the Muppets a second goal to try and kill this game off and get the win. He goes down left hand side and squares to Connor. Surely Connor's got a score. Connor shoots. Oh, it's a great block from the members only player who got back just in time to stop the shot coming in from Connor as Connor holds the ball up and we win a kick in. The ball is deep on left hand side now, but you can't really see it as the floodlight is shining into the camera. However, as Connor gets in, this is really well to hold of his man, gives to Lewis. Lewis in space, he takes around his man, sure he's got to get a shot and score. Oh, it's another good save by the members only keeper, this time with his feet. Muppets really should be at least 2-0 up by now. Another and perhaps the final change from Muppets sees Matt Price coming to the field for Connor Phillips as looked to try and defend this game out. Really not that long left in the game now and the points are still up for grabs for both teams. The members only look to come forward, it's a nice turn and Matt's under pressure but as well to give away a corner and that amount of pressure from their striker. The ball is just in the midfield and Lewis is really well to win it and he picks up the ball. He looks to come forward now on the right side, he cuts inside, he looks to create that chance or get that goal that will kill this game off for the Muppets and get that second goal. However, he loses the ball but he's lucky to win it back as he gives it back to Reese. Reese now plays it to the right side to Scott. Muppets now just looking to hold onto the ball, keep possession and time members only out and just looking to not give away possession, not give away any more chances and try and just kill off this game slowly and get these two very, very valuable points that we need to try and challenge for second. Scott now plays to Matt who's deep on the right side. He looks to progress forward and give it back to Lewis. Lewis has no really options but Matt gives him one back on the touchline on the right hand side. He looks to come back to Scott. Scott now turns inside and looks for options to play it through to Matt, however he's dispossessed and then goes straight to the members only keeper. Muppets have a kick in here deep in their own arms. A long ball from Reese, however it turns out to be a good one as Scott gets that first and gets a nice flick on, however it just goes wide. A good effort though. Into the dying embers of the game now, members only still attacking the play equaliser. Reese with a nice interception now as he gives it to Connor. Connor drives forward well, there's a nice ball to Scott. Scott's 1-on-1, you can't really see, he shoots, but you can't really see it, but their keeper makes a good save and there's another chance missed from Muppets as we still can't kill off this game. Muppets have a kick in and they start to switch it long to the right hand side towards Matt. Matt brings it under control and tries to cut inside. He does so really well and has to play a ball through to Scott, however the pass is blocked and intercepted. Scott tries to press him but Matt eventually wins it back. Yes, another great victory for the Flaming Muppets there as they overcome a tough test of members only, beating them 1-0 thanks to a good assist from Scott Reynolds and a great goal from Lewis Page. Here are the other results from Monday's matches. As you can see, Dirty Mike and the boys did win their match, so we will stay in third and they will stay in second place. However, with Dirty Mike playing top of the league, McLeod's home next week, it could be our chance to overtake them and claim second spot. Also, as you can see, there is a vacancy available. That is because Shamrock have been kicked out of the league after not turning out this week against PK Blinders, and they've been replaced, as you can see, by Town Called Palace, and they'll play their first match against Pearl Panstown next week. That should be a good game. Our game should be better, and then until next time, forever Flaming!